So you want to check out some live music tonight in Ottawa, but you're not sure of where to start looking? Maybe you're not even sure what you're in the mood for. I've got a website for you. Go to ottawagigs.ca. They have everything you need. Bands, artists, styles, venues, times, even the cost to get in. It's all at your fingertips on an easy-to-use website, ottawagigs.ca. Go discover the incredible talent, the amazing venues, and the exciting nightlife that Ottawa has to offer. Start your night with ottawagigs.ca, your guide to the gig.
You've got a real attitude problem, McFly. You're a slacker.
Wanna raise the South T-Bay, lower class punk ass, I was Northwood grade. I had it made. Spent my nights drinking with my mates. Just a short bus ride up to PA. Red River Red. Then I hit the wall and I knew I had to bounce. They still say that 19 years ago. Well, I got the hell out. From time to time you may see me hanging around. Now I feel like a stranger in this town. Crocs and rolls is where I learned to play. Westwood Tavern's where I learned to walk away.
Hey, we're back. This is Ego and Vice. This is Mike. This is episode, I believe it's 158. Wow, things are really picking up in the world of Ego and Vice. On the show today, sitting here comfortably on my low futon, is an old friend that we haven't really connected in a long time, and I'd love to just kind of cover that. He's a local celebrity. He is a pillar of the photography world. Beautiful work. If you get a chance to see it, you must. Mr. Sean Sisk is here. Hello, sir.
Hello, Ohio. How are you?
Oh, Ohio. Wow, that's so funny. Off mic, we were talking about, and yes, I'm sure that name has come up a few times on the podcast, but it's very rarely I use the moniker, or handle, if you will, Ohio Jones, which used to be.
But, that's how I met you.
That's true.
So it's hard to throw that. But I would say I'm more of a loiterer in the Ottawa music scene. I just won't go away. I just keep mulling around.
That's fair. You know who still calls me Ohio every time I see her? Chelsea Miller.
Really?
Still, I don't even know if she knows my real name.
We should ask her.
We should ask her. She's been on the show a couple times. I was actually going to ask her if she wanted to be like a full-time co-host. Because I think that would be so fun just to shoot the shit with Chelsea once a week.
She's a lot of fun.
When she's on, we just sit and we just shoot the shit. And it's just like, we got to stop because no one's going to listen. Like, probably, you know what I mean? It just goes too long. In the world of podcasting, I've found that the sweet spot is just under an hour. If people get to the end, great. They stayed just long enough. It goes over that 60-minute point, gone. Anyway, some people won't even click play if they see too long.
61? Nope.
Yeah, it's like, who the hell? What? I got all the time in the world here? So, Sean, I think my earliest memory of meeting you was when you took pictures of my old band, Armistake.
In somebody's house.
That was
in a basement.
That was Laura's old house. Because I lived with her then, too.
Was it really?
Yes. My housemate, everyone who's been to Southwood Studio knows that I share a house with an old friend. This is the second time I've lived with her. So yeah, maybe there'll be a third, or maybe I'll just never move out. But yeah, my old band, Our Mistake, needed some pictures taken, and Sean, you came downstairs, and we were standing there in our suits and our ties because we looked like a ska band.
Jammed it out in the basement.
That's right. Photography.
What year was that?
Oh God. Actually, Laura still has. We made her this big picture, and that one of those pictures is in the frame.
Wow.
with like a silver CD and stuff like that.
Wow.
And that's your picture. I should try and find that. Maybe she still has that somewhere. She has to still have that somewhere.
I still have a monopod with an Our Mistake sticker on it.
Really?
So I would say it's at least 20 years ago.
Yeah. Well, who knows, man? I think the album cover has the leaflet, like the booklet of that. It was called, I think it was a self-titled CD, and I think the picture of us is your shot from that basement hallway thing.
That's a throwback. Wow.
One thing I do remember too is the live lounge.
Yeah.
And you used to have a ton of pictures hung up there, did you not?
I did, but I don't remember. I know I did, but so did what's his name, Scott Schweitzer.
Switzer.
Yes.
Switzy. Yes,
he used to shoot a whole bunch too, and he was shooting all kinds of stuff for Live 88.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe that's right, because I remember I used to
I did shoot a lot of the big money shot.
Okay.
But I think it was more Scott's.
That's one era that I've had some people on. Do you remember Pete Hammond from Loud Love? Remember the band Loud Love?
It's one of those. I know Pete. I'm sure I know Loud Love if I saw Pete. But after dying, my memory's not quite as tack sharp as it was.
Yeah, we'll get to that conversation. I just want to touch on a little bit of history, and especially you're known primarily, in my brain, in my universe, that you're like a band photographer. You take music photography, because that's
my love. Mm-hmm. That's really, really like what got me here. Mm-hmm. I mean, I started shooting coffee houses in high school at St. Pat's back in grade 7 and 8, and
just up here.
Yeah, this is my old hood, and then by grade 10, 12, doing, co-op placements, and photography was always, even growing up, like I love liner notes. I love looking, back at cassette and CD, the liner notes. Mm-hmm. And I remember the Pat Garrett, Billy the Kid LP, and it had this photo of Chris Christopherson and I forget who played Pat Garrett, anyways, and it was and Bob Dylan did it, and just being enamored by that old pop culture artwork, and it's always been something
that really is a shame. Like, album covers were 100% art, because the music inside of them, so much work was put into it, and then it came what are we gonna do for the package?
And look at Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, those albums, they were themed and everything, like it was a piece of art.
Yeah, I used to love, because you can do it now. Vinyl is very, very available now.
Yeah.
But it's very rare that I'll go out and I'll buy a record and lay down on my couch and read the lyrics and listen to it that way. Everything goes through my phone.
You're not 17 anymore. A little lava lamp, turn off the lights, be a little bit sad about what happened in grade 11.
But I used to love that. I used to love the smell. Remember, you take off the plastic and and it would have that kind of not printed, maybe factory mechanical smell.
It was a moment. You would take the cellophane off and open it up, and
it was
the
amazing.
world got slow. It was amazing.
Yeah, and as soon as and it was so crisp and clean. As soon as you got that dog-eared corner, I remember putting it back in the. Remember the jewel case had the little slots to fit the. Anyway,
I remember my first I shot my first artist that did an LP, and it was John O'Lear, and to see my work finally on a record.
Oh, an actual
record.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
It was so, man, it was awesome. There's people ask me things that that you do in your career. Mm-hmm. The first time you see for me, seeing my work on a cassette and then a record, that is so amazing.
That's huge. And do you play music?
You know what? No, I have no no musical styling whatsoever. That's why I quit the recorder, picked up a camera, and moved on.
I can relate to you. I bet you it's the same feeling of when you saw your artwork on a CD cover or a tape cover. It's the same feeling of a musician first time hearing their song. I remember when Our Mistake, my old band, first got their actual CD, when they came back from the printer, where they were real. They weren't like a old jewel case where you draw your symbol on a piece of paper and you slide it and make it it was real. Printed CD and everything like that. That's a moment. It is a moment in time.
And it really and that somebody like trusted me and they believed in me that I could represent their band. Like, man, that was like the fucking coolest.
A lot of musicians out there are self-taught. They pick up a guitar, they figure it out. And that's how they get their style, right? With photography, is it the same thing? Was there some sort of teaching? Did you learn how to do it?
I funny enough, I went to school. Being an artist and was never really my jam. I did go to school for photography. I didn't go as far as my parents probably would have liked.
Yeah.
I did other things, and I went back and I took paramedics, and then I went and I took journalism, and I did these things, but I just always shot. And I just always, I would always go back to shooting friends' bands. And then it just sort of kind of went. And lighting always, not that it was easy for me, but I just always saw it. And it was always, photography is, and I think musicians get this, it's not something I do. It's who I am. It's just in me. Like, I don't think about it. Like, it's harder for me to talk about it than to just go do it.
Yeah, that's fair. You know what I mean? It's just like with music, I don't take pictures. Like, I have an iPhone just like every other person. Well, actually, I have a Google Pixel, not an iPhone. Just like every other person in the world, and everyone thinks they're a photographer in this day and age. But, yeah. So, shit, I lost my train.
But it goes with like what you were saying. Like, did I go to school?
Yeah.
No, but I did it in high school. I did a lot of like hands-on. I worked with commercial photographers. I used to work at BGM Imaging, which was a commercial lab in the city that used to do the prints for Joseph Karsh. And I got to work under this guy Terry, who's passed away, and like I learned how to print black and white in a dark room. I worked with Richard Demery, who had this commercial studio on Catherine, and I worked at the Ottawa Sun, and I learned from these other photographers that were willing to give me the time. And like, I was just osmosis, like I was like a sponge, like, just give me this. And it was just sort of like picking up a guitar. I picked up my camera and shot, and I would hang out with people that were better than me.
Is there still film? Do you still ever do that? Is that still a thing?
It is. I still have my film cameras. I still have all the shit for a darkroom.
Yeah.
But now I don't really do it, not because I don't want to, but, with kids, with clients, with just life in general, I haven't done it.
Yeah, and I just think it's like, it'd probably just be easier, like, because a digital camera now must, like, I'm sure the one that you use must be incredible, like what you get. Is there a charm to film? Is there something better with film, or is the digital camera, can it capture everything film did?
It's funny because I think really the charm of film is film. It's like analog. And if you look on Instagram now,
Good comparison.
and you look at what everybody's doing, everybody wants it to feel like film.
Yeah.
Like,
that's true with filters and all that shit. You're
they
right.
really want like that, the Fuji look with the blue, or the Kodak with the reddy orange.
Yeah.
And I mean, the biggest problem with film is, like, for me to go shoot your band, I get in the studio, I shoot 300 images, I can download it and look at it right then and there with you. You're home, I've already got a gallery up, and you're looking at them with your your band. But with film, if I shoot 10 rolls of color black and white, well, I either got to go home and I got to soup them, or I got to send them off and we got to wait a week to 14 days. And nobody wants to wait 2 to 3, 4 weeks to see anything.
It's amazing. It's amazing how photography has actually advanced, because to think about now, just say you went out and bought like a disposable camera, well, you can't really see what you're taking. You're just kind of trusting that what you're like, oh, that looks good, click, and then you go, rah, rah, you wind it, right? And then you did. I remember I used to bring it to like Walmart, and I remember like 1 hour photo was the whole big deal.
Yeah.
It's like, an hour? Really? An hour?
I remember when I worked at
And you just hope they turn out, right?
So I worked at Blacks on like 25 years ago, and this girl applied for a job, and on her resume she said, I want to get into it, and I can see in the future that people will be able to get their photos done in less than a half an hour. Like that was something people were looking forward to.
Less than half
Less
an hour.
than half an hour.
Wow.
And now it's not kidding. Like when you see those things on Instagram or wherever, like people, I'm like home, and like people are emailing and they're like, "Do you have my photos ready?"
Yeah.
And people can see the value in a camera. People don't see the value in the time it would take to edit that film. Like that's an intangible fee that some clients, you know, have trouble understanding. Whereas digital, they feel they paid it, they see it, they can move on.
Right.
But to put those intangibles, not a lot of people want to pay for like the difference in a handmade Gibson guitar as opposed to one in China.
Fair
That's
enough.
generally the user that is playing it that sees or hears the difference.
That's right. You're right. That's 100% right. And you have. It's amazing how things are compared to other things like music, photography, or music, or skateboarding, or you know, it all kind of it all has the same. It's all about passion. It's all about what you love to do. When you said you don't really do photography, you are photography, or however you put it. And it's just like that's the point I was going to make earlier is that it is the same with music. It's like I've put so much work into shows and songs and stuff like that, and then you go play for 10 people. But you still love being there, and you go back and do it again for you know what I mean. It's not about it's about who you are. It really is, and
it hurts when you don't do it.
You can't not do it because you're right. It's in your blood. And I tell bands that come in here and stuff, and some of them are younger. Just this is their first band or whatever, and I said, you'll always do this. You know what I mean? Like you'll do this forever. Like if you started now and you love it, you'll never not do it because you'll miss it. And you know, and it is. I guess that's just part of your life.
There's a line that I really like. You know, it really like sticks to me. It's by Black Sabbath. They have a song, "It's All Right," and in that song, he says, "You have to give it your all and ask for nothing in return."
welcome to the world of rock and roll.
Yep.
Yeah, no, it's true. Hey, man,
because you know, when 30 years ago, we'd all be rich by now.
But
that was the plan.
But it's not about money. Like what is success to people? And I guess it's in the eye of the beholder, right? Success to me is just I'm for the last 30 years I've been playing music and I've loved it and I'm still doing it. That's success to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean I have 3 gorgeous girls. I have a wife that puts up with me. I have a car and a house, and I still take photos, and I still wear ripped jeans.
100%.
I only got a haircut because I was in a coma.
Which we will get to. This is all so many great segues, but we're not there yet. That's part 2 of the podcast. So as you've continued to take pictures throughout your career, you've named a bunch of things that you've worked for, what you've done. What is your favorite things to shoot now? I know you love shooting bands and music and stuff, but what other things?
I love being in studio. I love portraits. I love when I get to shoot people, and it's me and them. And, you know, be it, and I'm fortunate is all get out. Like I get to hang out with business owners. I get to hang out with musicians at every level. And my favorite is I love ones that are starting out. I mean, I get to shoot NHL players, NFL players, media, all kinds of stuff. I'm so fortunate. But I love that one-on-one time where I get to know them and create something that they're proud of that they want to share.
Yeah. No, I completely understand that. And that's kind of what I do here. It's just you build something from nothing and you try and put your best efforts into something. When it comes to this podcast, yes, you know what I mean? You try and do the best for the thing that the person that's here for you, right? Is shooting like a landscape, you know, like remember the dude, the painter, that little tree over here, put a little tree, and he just did like landscapes and stuff. I'm sure like a painter probably doesn't want to do like trees and bushes and mountains and stuff like that. Do you enjoy shooting like people, like actual people, or people like, do you go out and shoot a mountain? I
think I'm truly like a people photographer.
Yeah.
But I mean, like
life.
I like a studio, and I like my rock and roll. That's what I love to shoot. Don't get me wrong. I love when, you know, to get up early and I'm in Mexico and go to the beach and take pictures of sunrise. I love doing that, but I would never do that to make money.
Right.
That's my thing. I was asked, I had a friend asked me to shoot the Ottawa Senators. And I got to shoot an NHL game. And I left, and it wasn't that, it was like, I wanted hockey to be for me. I didn't want to share being an NHL photographer.
Right.
I love hockey, but there's some things you have to leave.
Yeah.
Like,
Is nothing sacred.
Yeah, like I want to
Yeah,
watch a
yeah.
hockey game with friends. I don't want to have to go shoot.
You don't want to turn it to work. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because then it'd be like yeah, I got that.
Like, there's nothing worse than I'm on listening to the radio. You got Live 88.5 on the radio, and they play a song, and you're like, I just shot that band, and I have not done their photos yet, and now I need to go home and edit their photos.
Yeah.
And so it's nice not to have hockey
Yeah.
where I need to do more hockey.
Never ends. It never ends. As far as your is it okay? Let me start that. I'm gonna edit this up a bit. Is it your job? Is it your full-time job being a photographer?
I would say the only full-time job I have is being a dad to 2 9-year-old girls.
Mm-hmm.
That's the full-time job.
That's living the dream, though. Like,
And I get paid, and I do photography like full-time. I don't have another
yeah.
occupation.
See, that's the step above. Like, I always said to myself, like, when I was younger, yes, I wanted to live the rock star lifestyle, and it seemed attainable when you're younger. But as you get older and the years go on, you start changing the goal. Where you're like,
king-size beds,
Well,
large pillows.
you stop wanting to be like travel. Like you'll
Yep.
always want to do it, but you start realizing I'm probably not going to be a rock star. I wonder if I can actually sustain myself just playing music. And then you get a little bit older and you realize nobody wants to see me. Nobody's going to pay me, what I would like to. So you come to terms with it. It doesn't become like a hobby. It's still a love of life. But I've always had like a day job. I've always had a backup plan. Because I know unless you actually make some big money or some big crazy rock star thing, it's not a super sustainable lifestyle for a musician. If you just want to go out and play your music, you can go sit in a pub and play 3 sets of "You'll Have to Excuse." You can, and there's nothing wrong with that. I never saw myself as that guy.
Yeah.
Do you know what I
fair,
mean?
Totally fair.
I just wanted to play my own songs in this, and it got to a point where it was just like, but for you, you're living the dream. Like you're living the dream.
I'm so spoiled. Like, I work for Bell Media. I've been with Bell for like a decade.
Yeah.
And I do headshots for TSN and CTV, Pure Country. I do all that stuff. I work for different radio stations. I'm sure some people have seen those Hot 89.9 ads I've done, or the Live 88.5. Mm-hmm. I shoot for different magazines. I shoot for different law firms, accounting firms. I do all kinds of different stuff. I'm so spoiled. It's unbelievable.
Well, it's probably all comes from hard work and a hell of a talent. So congratulations,
thank you.
sir.
I appreciate that.
And I think you've earned it. I think you've earned it because I've seen your
Too
work.
stubborn to do anything else.
That's right. And you grinded away at it, and you made it. You made it. You're a success story.
Well, thank you. But as an artist, like I never feel myself. I never feel like I've made it. There's always more to do.
Good. That's great.
When I make it, it'll probably be the day I'm dead. That's why I said nope. I ain't going today. July 13th. I'll see you back July 16th.
Right. But something got in the way
Yeah.
a little while ago, and I think we should talk about that if you want to. Right after I play this song, which you've requested, from Ottawa artist Kelly Prescott. This is Hillbilly Jewels, right here on Ego and Vice.
I threw a brand new penny down an old dark well. Made me a wish, but I'll never tell. Oh hell, I want a black El Camino with a racing stripe. I need to live, I don't wanna survive.
Hey, we're back. This is Ego and Vice. This is Mike. I am sitting here with the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Sean Sisk. So you had a very eventful
2023.
a couple years.
Yeah.
Can you? I don't even like. I said to you prior to the podcast. I'm the no spoilers guy. I always say I don't want to see spoilers. So I remember when you were going through something, because we have a mutual friend named Jason Watts. The Ego and Vice crowd knows Jason Watts from the years he's been on the show. He's a friend of mine. He's been in bands. He's currently
one of the loveliest people you'll ever
the
meet.
nicest guy in the world. Good people, salt of the earth people.
Yeah.
Love him to death. He's like a brother. He really is. He's like a little brother to me.
That's getting healthy.
Getting healthy.
Like, big props to that guy.
Big shout out to Jay.
Like, that's so hard to do, especially with 2 young kids.
Yeah.
Like, kids are a lot of work, and life is work.
Jay's always, yeah. And you know, Jay, the thing with Jay Watts is he has a really, really good head on his shoulders, and he knows right from wrong, and he knows, you know, and everyone hits a wall at one point when I quit drinking, Jay Watts was kind of pivotal in that moment of time. And I would update him. Hey, 1 month, Jay. 2 months, 3 months. And he'd always give me the encouragement, right?
He's amazing. And, like, when I was in the hospital,
Yeah.
like, Jay was one of the few people that came to visit me.
Yeah. Absolutely. So, Jay, you're on he's trying to lose a couple of pounds. He's trying to live a healthier lifestyle. Because we all let it slide at times. And sometimes we all hit a wall and say, you know what? It's time to make some changes. So, good for
And
you.
you look at yourself when you're getting older, like, you know, I know myself, like, I have young kids.
Mm-hmm.
You want to be fit, you got to take them to skating lessons. Then you got to take them tobogganing. Then you got to take them to swimming lessons. There's a lot of up, down. Like, lassoing kids is a lot of work.
See, I have no kids, so I can only imagine.
Oh, it's like a rodeo, man.
Yeah. Most of the changes I've made in my life have been self-indulgent. Thank you very much. But also my Thomas the cat, he needs me around as well. So anyway, but you had a heck of a adventure starting in 2023. Do you want to again?
Let's start at the beginning.
Yes, let's do it.
In 2023, I'm also one of the official photographers for Bluesfest and CityFolk. And in 2023, I was shooting. It was the year Shania Twain was there. Who else was playing? My memory's a little bit foggy. I don't remember a lot of stuff, but I know the Foo Fighters was the second year the Foo Fighters were there. Anyways, I was going in to shoot Shania Twain. She was the last act I shot. And somewhere in there, I guess I somehow, like, had a cut on my leg. Like, I had dry skin, scratched my leg. And I had this cut on my, like, lower calf. And going through, after Shania, I wasn't feeling well. And I just assumed, you know, everything we'd all been through with the pandemic. And, you know, I have young kids. They were just out of school. And on top of that, I was shooting a festival. It's hot.
Could have been anything. Anything.
I got all these things going through my head. Well, it turns out, as we're going through, I got a cold. I had a fever. I just felt like shit.
Something was wrong. Yeah.
And I felt off. Like, I just felt off.
Do you ever, like, get sick and, like, gauge it and try to relate it to something you felt before? Like, have I felt like this? Yeah, I felt like this before. It's probably a cold.
And then my fever went away on, I think, the Foo Fighters day, and I didn't go to Bluesfest. So I thought, no fever, I'm getting better. And then it turns out that night I ended up having a pain in my abdomen. And I went for a leak, and my urine was like a darker color. It was a little off. Well, and the pain, and then I had the cold sweats, and my wife called the ambulance at about 5:30 in the morning.
Yep.
And I went to the Mulfor, and they had me, and then it gets a bit blurry. It's fully blurry. By 11:30 that morning, I was intubated. My system, I was in the middle of a full system shut down.
Do you remember this period?
I don't. I only
you said
remember
full
this
blurry.
just from what people have told me.
What's the last thing you do remember?
The last thing I really remember is I don't even remember Father's Day that year.
Yeah.
I sort of remember, and I don't know if I remember it or if I remember it because I've been told it, but like I remember walking to the ambulance. And I walked out to the ambulance, and my wife said to me, "You don't have your phone charger." And I said, "My phone holds a good charge. I shouldn't be there that long."
Okay.
6 weeks later,
What? Phone's dead.
phone's definitely dead. And I was intubated, and that was like, and in that time, it turns out, with the cut on my leg, I somehow got strep A bacteria, which you might know what is strep throat. So, but if it ends up in different systems, like in your blood or on your skin, different things happen. So somebody could have coughed on their hand and not washed their hands, shook my hand, I didn't wash it, scratched. Or I was told by one doctor that somebody might have like had strep throat with 20,000 people. You know, they hit metal. I rubbed against metal, somehow got it in this cut of my leg. So
I didn't even know that could happen. That's crazy.
So I somehow ended up, it became cellulitis. And in that time, it just like,
Is that rare, or does that happen all the time? Or is
It's-
this like
it's very rare.
Is this like one of those 1 in a million type things?
it's very rare. It's strep A is a very like easy bacteria to kill.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's a bacteria virus. I can't remember right now. My paramedics and my medicines, but they have antibiotics for it.
Mm-hmm.
It's easier and generally more manageable than staph
Okay.
infections. But anyhow, it got away on me. Like I didn't present anything normal. The redness I thought was a sunburn, not cellulitis. And anyhow,
who would have thought? Yeah, who would have thought? Though, you know what I mean?
Well, yeah.
Such a
And I just thought, like, I'm 50. I'm tired of, shooting. Anyhow, turns out within like 72 hours, like my kidneys had shut down. Everything had shut down. My only system that didn't shut down were my lungs. My heart stopped 4 times. At one point, my heart stopped for over 30 minutes.
what the hell?
I had flesh-eating disease on my leg. I have like scars. They had to take a chunk of my inner leg out, my inner thigh.
Skin graft type of thing?
No, like they took like a whole like
Just removed
like
it.
they went right in.
Oh, man.
And like they took everything out of my inner thigh, and I have like this scar on my leg that's like this big, and I had to have a vac on it. I don't know if you know what a vac is. It's basically a vacuum that makes your wound heal from the inside out.
Wow.
I had that attached to my leg for weeks. I was on dialysis for almost 3 months, among other things. And then I had, what else was there? It was just like, and after waking up after 6 weeks, I was septic as well. The being in a coma, the atrophy, the infection, the whole thing. And I mean, when you're that sick, they need to fill you up with liquid to keep the pressures up.
Yeah.
And like, it was just crazy. So anyways, through all that, like everything that could go wrong went wrong.
What were your chances?
Well,
Like,
I get asked that, and that's kind of an interesting. At one point they told my wife we have to go do, when they removed the chunk out of my leg, they said to her, when he comes back, he might have no leg. We might have to remove both legs. It's necrotizing fasciitis. It's flesh-eating disease. He might have no legs.
That's crazy.
And then the night that they intubated me, they got my wife to come in with my kids and say goodbye. They didn't think I was going to make it through the night. So it's not that I had a chance. Like they wrote me off. Mm-hmm. And it goes back to what I said before. Like we're too stubborn to go out like this.
Yeah.
So there were a lot of like I wasn't supposed to make it at all.
Right.
There's just so much that like 20 minutes is just not enough time to like tell the story. Like I had to learn to walk again. Even little things like, because I was on dialysis, like I couldn't even like, like to not go pee. Like I had to learn to get up and go pee again. Like there was just so many, like I couldn't even write. Like I was so weak. I had to learn to write, walk.
And it was all from that bacteria getting
ended up in my leg.
into that cut, and then it just literally spread
through, yeah.
everywhere through your blood. Like
Yeah. After 2 weeks from the mall before they transferred me to the general, I needed a different kind of dialysis and different things. But when I eventually got out of the hospital, I went in July 13th. I got out October 26th. So almost 4 months. And I went in just after Christmas to visit the medical team and Dr. Baldo at the Ottawa General. Or the mall for, just to thank him and to meet these people.
yeah.
And the doctor, he even looked at me and he was like, look at you. And he gave me a hug. And like that's just to show you like what a miracle life is.
Yeah.
And I was told by so many medical people, like, it's amazing. This is why we do medicine. And honestly, like everything that went wrong, like I had to learn to walk again. I was in a wheelchair for a few months. I had to use a walker. I'd be at the no frills with my walker. Yeah, like it was.
That's so.
When I got home, I couldn't even go up to my bedroom.
Yeah.
I didn't get to my bedroom until like November. I couldn't do stairs.
Have you ever met anyone else like in your travels since this happened that's also like a survivor of it, or anyone else that's had a similar experience that you can relate it to?
I sort of, from what I have, like the mortality is like unbelievably high. Like it's unbelievably high. Like I'm so fortunate. I met this other gentleman. I won't say his name, but he reached out to me a few weeks after, and he had a similar. He had it on his legs, but his got into his lungs. But he got out. He's doing better. Even to this day, like he might need a lung transplant because it got into his lungs, and he's having lung issues. But like he's a great guy. Like and it's neat because I've had like families message me, like their father has it. He's in a coma, and I have like random people that have asked, like my father, my brother is in this, like what's it like in a coma, or what do you think, or
What is it like in a coma?
like it's like people just want hope, and really like and it goes with a lot of what's going on in the world. People just want hope, and I get a lot of like I've had people message and saying thanks for sharing your story. Like my father won't, or my husband isn't going to the doctor, and because of your story, like they're going, or they're like life is fragile, and I promise you, like going to the doctor is nowhere near as scary as we dream it up, and a lot of men have a lot of fear of them finding something wrong.
Yeah.
And I don't want to say it's allowed, but honestly, I mean, I've been, I think, in every room in the Ottawa General Hospital. I've been for more blood tests. I know my blood tech by first name. Like I do all this stuff, and you know what? I would have died if it wasn't. And you know what? Everything I have is a bonus, and it can be taken away like that. Like honestly, like hug your friends, hug your family. And if you don't hear from your friends, call them. Like, they're alone and scared just like you are. And I would say, if I were to say anything about the whole situation, is, man, we all just want hope. Like, it's fucking scary. And don't be afraid, because somebody will help and does have your back.
Yeah.
God, I hope so anyways. I hope so.
I hope so too. What a story. What an amazing, it's like a miracle, like a recovery story.
If they want to read
right?
more, the Ottawa Hospital did a story in their like patient thing on their donation pages. You can go and Google my name and read more of my story.
I can add some links to when I post the podcast as well, if there's more information. And by no means, if there's more to tell you, like we have all, like, if you want to tell more, like we have, it don't.
Okay, you know what? There's lots more.
Yeah.
There's so much more. Like, if you have any questions, Mike, like throw any questions you have. Like,
well, I'm not. I think I don't really know much about the the illness itself and how recovery and how that is. But I think my questions would be more like, after someone goes through something like that, where you're saying, call your friends, don't take things for granted, go to the doctor and stuff like that. Pardon me. Physically, you notice a difference in yourself. You've mentioned it, where it's just like low seats, tough, that type of thing. It's probably. Do you notice a difference between, like, what are some things between Sean before and after that were drastically changed?
My brain is still like recovering. To go that long without oxygen, I do have like memory issues. I'm a little more like, I'm not gonna say volatile, but like I don't have patience like I used to. I find it harder to put words together. I do find like I have less tolerance straight up for bullshit. Like life is fucking short. It's fragile. Don't fucking waste my time. And you know what? Like, I have stuff I need to do. Like, just do your shit.
Yeah.
But other than that, like, I mean, it's a lot of physio. Like, I have to go to the gym now, like 3 times a week. I go to physio, once, twice a week. Like even little things, like I still have neuropathy damage, like a lot of nerve damage in both legs, my hand, like my left hand. Like, I mean, Mike was kind enough to hook me up with a bottle of water, little things like that. Like, I still can't open bottles of water. Like, I have no strength.
Has it affected the photography, the camera?
Yes,
like that?
totally. I don't have that same kind of stamina. A camera's damn heavy.
Yeah, I'd imagine it would be.
I am fortunate. Like, I do, a lot of my studio stuff is on a tripod. I am getting there, but I don't have that same, like when I shot Bluesfest last year, like I'm not running around a pit like a young 25-year-old anymore. Like, I find a spot and I don't have the same balance. Little things like that.
Does photography mean as much or even more now? Like that part of yourself.
That's tough. That's a tough question. It means a lot. There were times that I didn't think I'd ever get to do it again. Like, my hand was stuck at one point until 2024. At one point, like, I could not bend my left hand. Like, my fingers were stuck in that.
Bang bang, yeah.
And like, I'm lying there, like, just it destroys your muscle.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't even like get out of bed.
Yeah.
And to look, when you're in that position, to look forward and think, I'm gonna do it. And I remember going home, and I finally got up the courage to look at my camera. Like, it was heavy. I couldn't even take a lens off. And I think, if anything, I love my kids more now. Like, that's way more important in that side of my life. My photography is as important, if not more, because it can be taken away. But it's not the same priority that it was 2 years ago.
For sure.
I would say that's probably the...
Yeah, and I don't know. It's just like, I think in life we try and prioritize things the best we can, but life and everything just kind of gets in the way, and we get upset about stupid things, and guy cut you off on the road and all that stuff. You know what I mean? And it's a shame sometimes that something crazy like that has to happen to...
It's funny you said that, because when would go back and forth from the hospital in the beginning, people would do that. My wife would be cursing while she's driving, and I'd be like, oh, don't worry about it. We're fine. It's all good. Let's just get there.
It's true.
I mean, we lose that. We start getting like, oh, fuck, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah. You said that you're do you see other people wasting their energy or emotional, on things? Do you see that more now? Or is it just you're just doing your thing? Like,
I do a lot of my own thing. I'm really sheltered now, because I went out. I got to go to Ryan McIntyre, his engagement party.
That's nice.
Yesterday, and that was really like my first like outing out.
Oh.
Like in like 2 years.
Yeah.
And it was really, cool for, him and Lauren, but just to see, like, the Ottawa music community did so much for me.
Mm-hmm.
And just to get out and see people was amazing.
Yeah.
But when I see stuff like, I see some people that put way too much time into work, like focus on, but, who am I to judge? We need all different kinds.
Mm-hmm.
But I know for me, like, I tolerate, like, less bullshit.
Yeah, I can understand where you're coming from, because it is true. It's like time is short, and we do what we can, and we do get wrapped up in crazy shit.
And we all really know. I really know now. I don't know what tomorrow is gonna bring.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. And you know what? That time I'm here, like, honestly, I look at it every day I'm here is bonus time.
Yeah.
Like, it's bonus.
Yeah.
And I don't want to lose any of that time taking pictures. And then more importantly, with my kids, the people that are in my life, like, get out there and don't waste time.
No,
Not my time anyways.
that's right. That's right. Spend your time, cherish the time, and build, like, I don't know. I figure life is kind of like they say. That's like all it is experiences and kind of making memories, right? So
You know what? That's exactly it. Life is about experience and the memories.
yeah.
Like, look back.
Where do you see yourself 10 years from now? Is it different than you would have?
No, I don't think so. I mean, it probably is. I mean, who knows what the future holds, but man, by then I hope I'm still not wearing ripped jeans.
What?
But with that being said, though, like, I hope I like this path. I
Yeah.
love shooting. I love hanging out. I love doing my stuff. I love music. I hope the way, the music is, the music scene, digital is, that we still encourage music. We still encourage music growth and art. Like, one of the good things I do hope that comes out of all of this Trump shit is that Canadians go back, and you see it, like, companies hire photographers from out of this country. We hire this artist from here. That maybe Canadians will see we have so much fucking talent. We have so much talent in this city, in this country, that we ignore because we're like, oh, they're Canadian and they can't be any good.
No.
We watch a TV show and we're like, definitely Canadian.
That's so true.
Like, we're so fortunate. Like, I heard the other day, like Ottawa musicians have like a group chat with like over 100 of them in it. That they chat and get along. Like, if anything, the pandemic shows us that we wouldn't survive without art. How many people lived off of Netflix, music, and video games?
Yeah.
Like,
It's true.
like, that's the shit that keeps that happiness factor up. And I hope, if anything, like, Canadians continue, and people, that we have to invest in ourselves, in art, in music, in movies, in TV, in writing. Like, that, those are special gifts.
Agreed. Absolutely agreed. And what a great message from a pretty amazing guy with a
Thank
pretty
you.
amazing story. And it's genuine, because you just heard where it's coming from. And he's seen both sides. And he's come out a better person. It's like the end of the Shawshank Redemption, remember?
Well,
Andy Dufresne. He crawled through a pipe of shit and came out clean on the other side.
Oh, man, I hope I did.
That was my best Morgan Freeman. Enlightening, no, amazing, inspiring.
Mike, just thank you for having me.
Yeah.
And it's so cathartic to talk about it. It's such a weird thing to live through.
Yeah.
It seems surreal, but if anything, I hope it gives me the gift to enjoy my next 20, 30 years.
Well, you made my day, and I trust the universe. You know what I mean? And I think you said the mortality rate is low, but you made it. There must be a reason why you did, and maybe you haven't even scratched the surface on that purpose yet. So keep going. I'm inspired. Your strength is awesome, and just your outlook on the world is the way. If everyone had that outlook on the world would be a much better place.
Well, I thank you. I'm speechless, and I just want to throw out one of the things that I remember August 26th. This community and the city came together, and they did a fundraiser for me and my family.
Amazing.
Which was incredible at Overflow Brewery, and I remember and before, during things you'd hear thoughts and prayers, and people would put LOL and laugh, and I tell you, thoughts and prayers are special. That if you're in anybody's thoughts, if you're in anybody's laughter, and you're in somebody's heart, sorry for the Star Wars reference, but that needs to create an energy. There's no reason it doesn't create an energy, and that's a gift. And I owe so much, and such a big thank you to the Ottawa music community, the Ottawa art community, the other photographers. Like, so many people did so many amazing things for me and my family. It's incredible. Like if I could hug everybody and say thank you, like I can't even. I'll never be able to give back what I received.
I don't even know how to top that one. So. Let's leave it there. Thank you so much, Sean.
Thank you. I was appreciate it.
It really has been a very, very inspiring conversation. And I honestly, let's keep in touch. And I wish you nothing but the best going forward.
You as well. Anything I can do, let me know.
Same. And like I said, the ice is broken. I'll see you on the street and be like, what's going on?
We're hugging when this is up.
That's right.
Hugs.
All right. Thanks.
Thank you.
Take care. If you want to get a hold of me, you can always reach me at egoandvice@gmail.com. If you want to listen to the podcast, go to egoandvicepodcast.com. It is the website, the home base, the fortress of solitude, the HQ of all things ego and vice. I'd like to thank Sean Sisk for being on this week, and Season 8 rolls on. We'll see you next time.
You've got a real attitude problem, McFly. You're a slacker.